Hello and welcome. This is Sacred Union Temple. My name is Chata, and in this video series we will be sharing about Sacred Union. What is Sacred Union? A deep and non-superficial introduction to Sacred Union. And the different aspects we'll be looking at during this video series is, first of all, globally, what is Sacred Union? Secondly, what is the energetical process that occurs when Sacred Union occurs? What is being alchemized? Then thirdly, we're going to look at the multi-universal level. What is happening in the multi-universal level? So what is Sacred Union within the multiverse, and thus what is sacred separation, and what stage and process are we in right now on the multi-universal level? Then we're going to look at Sacred Union within the collective consciousness, so in the collective of all humanity. What is happening with Sacred Union? And then last but not least, we will take a closer look in our individual process of alchemizing Sacred Union, and what does that mean. Alright, I hope you enjoy these video series, and I'll share a little introduction about Sacred Union to start off with. So, first of all, Sacred Union is a divine process of coming home, very simply put. Sacred Union is a coming home, and this is happening on three levels. On a very individual, personal level, we are bringing in more balance, more Sacred Union, we are feeling more full, we are coming more home to ourselves. On a bigger scale, the collective consciousness, or the consciousness of all of humanity, we are also coming into Sacred Union, finding more balance within the collective consciousness. And on a multiversal level, we are rising up and we're going back home. If you will, the multiverse is contracting, and thus we're coming back, we're coming closer and closer, more and more into Sacred Union, back into ourselves, back home, back into balance, back into resonance with everything else. We are merging upwards into higher dimensions of consciousness, of even not even just consciousness, but also just the physical realm, and connecting upwards. And so when we speak of Sacred Union, a lot of people, first of all, usually think about sacred sexuality, or tantra, or just inner Sacred Union. But truly that's just one or a couple little mini fractals of what Sacred Union is. There is so much more. There is much more of a bigger picture of Sacred Union. And we can apply the energetical process of Sacred Union in all areas of our lives, in all the fractals of this multiverse. We can understand and apply the principles of Sacred Union there, if we wish to. So, Sacred Union can really be explained in many, many different ways, depending on what fractal or what area we're speaking of. Are we talking about the individual, the collective, or the multi-dimensional universal level? And then in those levels, which area are we talking about? Within our sexuality, within our mind, within the way we act, we speak. There's many different ways we can apply Sacred Union, or where Sacred Union can be processed and understood. So knowing this, when we are speaking of Sacred Union, we can have a large variety of different words and languages around it. But really, there is just one essence of the process of Sacred Union, and all of these words can be interchangeable. So we can change these words around but it's still, we're talking about the process, the action that's taking place, and that is always the same. But that being said, each of us personally will have a different perspective and understanding of what sacred union is to us, since we all have, personal journeys we're going through, personal understandings and perspectives of life, how we see life, how we see love, how we see our specific journey. We will also have our specific perspective on what sacred union means to us in our center of our little universe. And we will all be able to translate this a little differently. But my intention is, in this video series, we will be looking at multiple aspects of sacred union, to give a broader outlook on it, and also a more scientific view, if you will, bringing the science and spirituality together to explain the principles and understandings that we may have in sacred union. Okay, I hope you enjoy this series. I also have everything that's in this series is also in an article that I've written, so you can look down at the description box and find that article on my website and have a little read about it. So tune in for the next video, where we will talk about the energetical process, the alchemizing process of sacred union itself. Thank you. Bye now.